what I'm trying to say is, you are the one that have the final card to tell God that, Otito, it's enough. God is inexhaustible. You understand? He will keep giving. So the mistake they made, unless they had gotten enough and they felt it was enough.
That was enough for them.
But that wasn't. So don't judge God as in God has failed. No, God is much more than that. They came, they said it was enough, and then the oil stopped. So they are the one that stopped it with their mouth.
Hi everyone. So if you've made it up to this point, we dare say that you guys are the real OGs.
The real deal.
Yeah, welcome to another episode, another gist. Sodipo. I like saying Sodipo. So okay, I've always wondered, this woman in the Bible, the widow of the son of the prophet. You know, when they ran out of food, they were in debt, and they met with Elisha. Told them, asked them what they had. They had the oil. They asked them to get jars, and then they did that, and then the jars ran out. And anytime I hear about that story, I always hear people say, why didn't the woman get more jars? And in my head, I'm like, she tried her best now. She went to look, she went to look around, and the jar finished. So is it really her fault? Do you understand where I'm coming at? The jar's finished, and that was it. So why do people say that she was limited, so to speak, or she limited herself?
Okay, well, the story is this. The husband was in debt. Son of the prophet, can you imagine, in debt? Where was God? How could God allow the whole son of the prophet to be in debt? What was God doing? They should have been in riches and all of that. But that is the magnanimity of God. You see, so when the woman...
Or maybe they were just lazy. Just kidding.
I don't know. But when the woman reached out, number one, she reached out. She didn't reach out, she would have died. Yeah. So she reached out to Elisha because the debtors were coming to so they were going to take everything from her. And Elisha got there and said, wait, okay, what is it that you have? And that's the mistake most of us make.
Yeah.
It has gone to the end. Oh, we are at our lowest ebb. But there's always something that you have. And this takes me back to the relationship of God. God will not watch you decay. He will not watch you waste away. That's a fact that He will not. But you need to lift up your hand and say, Lord, help me. You understand? So when Elisha came and said, or the widow was crying and said, look, save us. My husband was one of your dedicated servants now. Yeah. Save us and all of that. Elisha said, okay, madam, what do you have? The one was almost like, you don't have anything. Elisha said, no, there must be something. You have. And I said, save for a little oil that we're just keeping. And I said, you call that little? Madam, bring out. So they brought the oil, and of course Elisha prayed. Who do you think created the multiplication? It was God. So God leached on it and fine, good. And so they were bringing the jars, and the jar was being filled. Bringing the jar was being filled. God is the supplier. He's inexhaustive.
Yes.
If you want God to bless you, this is talking from the background that I have, how I've been taught in church by our spiritual father and all of that. That look, if you go and bring a spoon, God will fill it with water. If you brought a cup, God will fill it with water.
Fill that cup.
If you brought a tank, God will fill it.
That tank.
If you go and bring a motor tanker, it will fill. So the mistake I feel that happened with the woman was after they had borrowed, because Elisha said, go and borrow from everywhere, just bring them. And it kept being filled up until the son had gone around, and then there was no more jar. And he came to Elisha. Elisha said, is there any other? And the son said, no more. And then the oil ceased. And this is the mystery. If the son had said, we can't get from our neighbors, but give us time. Let's go to the next state or to the next region. the oil will still continue.
Because it was kind of like a blank check he gave them.
So what I'm trying to say is, you are the one that have the final card to tell God that, Otito, it's enough. God is inexhaustible. You understand? He will keep giving. So the mistake they made, unless they had gotten enough and they felt it was enough.
That was enough for them.
But that wasn't. So don't judge God as in God has failed. No, God is much more than that. They came, they said it was enough, and then the oil stopped. So they are the one that stopped it with their mouth. But if their mind had said, no, we just
We
the
can
start.
get more.
We just the start. God will say, fine. So I'm waiting for you guys. Go and bring the tanker. If you can bring the finery. But of course, God also judges by your capacity. He's not going to bless you in such a way that you become a disgrace to Him. So He knows their capacity. And most times the capacity was when they said it was enough. By default. By default. If he was a present businessman, he would have said, God, let me go and get a pipe. Don't let me go and get jar. Let me just connect the pipe to it and take it to, let me go and bring tank farm. Let me go and build tank farm.
Gosh. So I hear you say that means your mind and your capacity kind of works hand in hand. They are not separate. So wherever your mind stops, that's where your capacity stops. So if you can expand your mind, that's more capacity.
Expansion starts in your mind. Expansion starts in your mind.
Wow.
And that's why the issue of, see, it wasn't a mistake that the parable of the talent, it wasn't a mistake that God gave one, give another one 2, give another one 5. He gave them according to their capacity. How come it was the one that had one that was complaining? Because if God knew that it's only one you can handle. Even this one is by Father love, and I'll give it to you. And look at what the guy did. He went to bury it. And when the master came, the master said, where is mine? And he said,
who did he give it to?
He put it inside napkin, dug ground, kept it inside. The master was very angry that even if at least take it to the bank, even if it is small
interest.
ROI, let it give you that you are a wicked and wasteful servant and unfaithful. For God to use that language. So guys, the truth is this. Don't blame God for anything. God will always answer your prayers. But the limit at which He answers is based on your mind. Honestly speaking. And then sometimes we want God to answer our prayer in certain ways, not in His own way. So when the answers are not forthcoming in the way we are expecting, we say God hasn't answered prayers. God is still in the business of answering prayers. But the question is, are you ready to acknowledge the way He has answered your prayers as His answered prayers? Do you understand? So.
And it's funny that when he collected that coin from the wasteful servant, who did he give it to?
He gave it to the one that had 5.
5, not 2.
Not even 2. So he gave it to the highest. That this one.
Because that one he has he has expanded his mind more.
So one had 11, another one had 1, and they were all children of God. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So you see a child of God doing so well. And the seemingly more prayerful one not doing so well. And you are wondering, God is not biased. He will give you according to your will. It's as simple as that.
That's one journey that I'm on in 2025. You see this mind, just trying to expand my mind, learn new things, soaking up as much knowledge as I can.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let me also drop this here for all of us to see. See. Like I've always said about God, that's one of the reasons why we are here, to redefine God's relationship. You see, God is very, very free with you. God knows that you are a sinner. That's why He says that our righteousness is as filthy rag before Him. So don't go to God coding as if you are all in all. He knows you are a sinner. He knows your capacity. He knows your flesh. Do you understand? And He knows that you will sin. Yeah. So all He's saying is, come to me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So you know you will labor. Yeah. You know you will be heavy laden. So, but we are the one that is showing macho to God and saying, so am I saying that you should continue in sin? No. Am I saying that you will almost always sin? Yes. Am I saying that even in your sinful nature, run back to God? Yes. Do you know the mystery of all of this? The mystery is, don't count the numbers of times you have sinned. Yeah. Just keep going back. The thing is, for as long as you keep going back, you are losing a bit of that sin. Yeah. you are shedding a bit of the gap of sin. The more you come back, the more you lose that sin. At a point in time, it gets to a point where the sin becomes smelly to you, and you are asking yourself, "What have I been doing? Why have I been doing this?"
Just wake
That's
up
the beauty
one
of
morning
God,
and you discover.
and that's the reason why God loved David so much. David was a man after God's heart, because for every little thing, the guy don't prostrate. You understand? Every little thing, the guy don't prostrate. God that says that you should forgive your neighbor 70 times 7, that is 490 times.
I've never thought about it this way.
You know how many times he's going to forgive you?
Yeah. If a man can should forgive 490
Which
times.
man self would offend someone 490 times in a day? You understand?
Oh,
so look at the way God is to us. If he is telling you 490 times you must forgive a man every day, so how many times do you want to sin that you run away from God?
He wouldn't.
I'm sure that in the course of this our episode, we'll talk about the prodigal son too, and then you will see the way God sees you. Don't see yourself as that ramrod straight, I must never sin person. Do your sin. Now, I'm not saying deliberately do sin, but your flesh will lead you into your sin. But what God is saying is there is joy in heaven over one sinner that repents, more than that 99 just person that need no repentance. So guys, please, just relax, run back to God. Am I saying continue in sin? No.
Nope.
What I'm saying is, for as many times as you fall into sin, please always run back to God. And He's always there with open arms. And you discover that in the course of your running back to Him, you begin to shed that garment of sin gradually, till the sin, that particular sin, is no more. You are asking,
just find out.
Where has it gone to?
Yeah.
It has gone. God has removed it from your skin, from your flesh. That is when the flesh indeed has overcome sin. Right?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. That means Jesus did not die for our pretend self or our packaged self.
Yeah.
He died for our real, raw, sinful self.
Absolutely.
Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Come to the end of this episode. See you in the next video.
So we want you to comment again. Don't forget your questions.
Yes.
Slide into my DM. Put your questions on the comments, or your things that are tugging at your mind. Let's talk about
probably something that we've said that you need more.
I'm sure God will give us an answer after this. Love you guys.
Subscribe. Please subscribe.